This is Trans Africa Radio.
It's exactly 6:30 Central African time. And you know what that means if you tune in to Man Talk right now. It means our studio guest is here, and he's, of course, here to keep us company between now and 7:30. And his name is Craig Govender, and he's the founder of the Wanderers Sports Medical Center. He's also been part of Biz Highveld Lions as a physiotherapist, also been part of the South Africa A for the past 6 years. And the center facility, of course, consists of 12 specialist sports practitioners and a fully functional gym. I know I need that. Its ambassadors include the likes of Stephen Cook as well as Temba Bavuma, and he joins us in studio. Good evening, Craig. Welcome to the show.
Well, I just dropped my wife off at Sandton City, so she's walking around.
Okay,
so.
But is that something that you're usually doing on the weekend?
No, we're chilling. We're normally quite busy.
Yeah.
With our lives, and she's quite busy, so we normally chill from the Heaton at the moment and watch some movies to get away from work.
Nice. So obviously being a physiotherapist has afforded you the nice life of not having to work on a weekend then.
No. Well,
I mean, like, look, I'm working right now. What you say? No, like, how dare you speak of working during the weekend?
No. We in season.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, in season we work quite extensively during the weekend because we're playing. So, and I just got back from England 3 weeks ago.
Which city?
Well, we are
in London.
Well, we are all around England on a tour, so that was quite busy.
I'm
30
jealous.
30 days. So we're working. We had 1 day of rest, basically in 30 days. So working all
What was
the
the
time.
weather like?
The south was quite rainy. When we went down north, it was quite good weather. Yeah.
So you say that you just came back from London, from England.
Yeah.
What exactly was your mission there?
Well, I was part of the South African A cricket team. So a squad of us went to play a few games against the counties and the England Lions team, which is the A team. And then obviously the Proteas were playing at the same time.
Yes.
So Cricket South Africa would like the second best team to be playing the same time as the Proteas in case of injuries, and making sure that players are performing and playing at the same time, basically.
Yeah. So this cricket thing actually dates back quite far back for you. There's a story that in the research that I read up about you bunking school. Well, I mean, when your dad calls you in and says that you have to go to the doctor, but meanwhile back at the ranch, some of us wouldn't get away with that. So tell us about your journey with cricket and sport as well.
My dad's the reason why I love the game. He got me up to watch the first game in '92 World Cup. So I watched Alan Donald running in and getting someone out, and he wasn't given out. And my love for the game started then. I went to the first game after isolation, India versus South Africa at Kingsmead. So I'm from
after isolation being post-apartheid, obviously. Yeah.
So in '92 as well, we went to Kingsmead. That's where he took me out of school, and I watched that as well. So I think my love for the game is immense. It dates back to '92, basically.
So at which point did you take the sport up on? Because then obviously there's some of us fall in love with sport. A football fan, but to take it upon yourself to actually be involved in the sport is a completely different ballgame. At which point did you decide, okay, fine, I am going to take the sport up myself?
As a player or
as a player?
Well, I started playing cricket in grade 9, I think. It's quite late.
Yeah.
And I played my first game. I played a bit of volleyball, and I was in athletics. And then we had a net at the ground with the neighborhood we stayed at, and coach just said, pick up a ball and let's go for it. And we started playing club cricket in Chatsworth. That's where I'm from, and it just grew and started playing a bit more, and then went to university and.
Yeah. So obviously, by that I gather that you're pretty sporty. So sports is kind of like a lifestyle for you. You mentioned volleyball. You mentioned what other sports are you into?
Well, I did a lot of athletics at school and tried to follow in my dad's footsteps.
Same here. How good were you?
I was all right.
Okay.
800 meters.
Listen, I just no. Actually, no. I think there's let me correct myself. I did cross country, which is not the same as athletics.
Yeah.
We just would run around a track for whatever the distance may be, but I don't think it's nearly as competitive as athletics.
Yeah.
With the whole on a track 800 to so and so and so.
Yeah.
So then cricket is it's a hobby, which then turns into extramural activity, which then turns into professional. So tell me about the professional aspect of it.
Well, I moved up to Joburg
from Durban.
From Cape Town. I studied in Cape Town. I studied at the University of the Western Cape.
Yes.
So I wanted to be a cricket physio from school.
Your initial ambition wasn't to be a cricket player.
I didn't think I was good enough.
Oh, okay.
So the next best thing was to be involved in cricket
some way, somehow.
And the only way in my mind was being a physio. So I wanted to be a physiotherapist. I went down to Cape Town to the University of the Western Cape. I played cricket there, so I managed to play at a decent level there and complete my studies. I played 6 varsity weeks for the university. So, and then obviously study. I wanted to study a bit more, so I did a master's on cricket injury prevention. And then in 2007, I got the call from the Lions.
Yeah.
And it almost like...
And the call from the Lions comes through on a random day. You're just chilling, and then...
I was at Nando's in Brackenfell.
Okay.
Exactly.
Just relaxing, just having your chicken and just eating, and then...
Well, I parked the car and was going into the Nando's, and Evan Speechley, who's a doyen of physiotherapy in Gauteng, and he was... I see him as my mentor. And he actually called me, and I like took a step back a little, and then he told me to come up.
Had you applied for this job, or?
Well, yes, I applied everywhere throughout the country to all the franchises. So I would have ended up anywhere.
Yeah,
as long as I tried.
Was it the first call?
It was the first call.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shekinah, as well as Black Coffee with Your Eyes, and it's exactly 6:48 Central African Time. You're listening to Trans Africa Radio. It's myself, BAX, as well as Craig Govender in studio joining me this evening, just to have a quick chat and get to know the man behind the Wondrous Sports Medical Center. Now, of course, this is your baby, right? This is your creation, your brainchild. Tell us, at which point did this institution come about? It is.
Yeah, it took about 3 years in the planning.
Was that 3 years worth of setbacks, or 3 years because that's how long it needed to take in terms of steps?
Yeah, I think there were setbacks as well. There's obviously hurdles trying to get something up like that, and in a massive stadium, which the center is in, obviously you need to be putting in proposals, and the proposals need to come back, and you need to chat with the powers that be, and you go in and out of meetings and all that type of stuff. So finding sponsors. I mean, the massive part behind it was having Origin Fitness behind the center. They are equipment company, and they basically sponsor the entire gym. So it's a massive part of the center, and that's what I believe is the uniqueness of the center. It's you get medical centers with practitioners in it, but you don't often get a medical center with a proper gym in it to help clients get better, with this great equipment.
Would you say that your background with sport helped you create the relationships that were able to sort of attract clients and make sure that it hits the ground running, so to say, in terms of making sure that it's a viable institution from the get-go?
Yeah, obviously being part of the Lions.
Sorry, did you work before? Like, were you like a physiotherapist outside of before starting your own?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I graduated in 2004. So since then, I've been working, and I got to the Lions in 2007.
Okay,
2008.
great.
So in that interim, I worked in Cape Town, and I worked for the University of the Western Cape as a physio. I started a practice with a friend of mine in Cape Town, and you had to get experience somewhere in order to get to the level.
And I guess that helped you as well then in turn to make sure that you could be able to build this institution successfully. Yes.
Obviously networks and speaking to people and people buying into your vision, and especially the practitioners buying into the vision, because it wasn't like I went out and I advertised positions available for the center. I actually approached people individually because I felt that I needed to try and get the best people in those positions who saw the vision that I had. And these guys, they're basically a team. So I want to run a center
like a sports team, basically.
Yeah, that's what I see it as. And create camaraderie and create a team spirit, people wanting to work with each other, people enjoying each other's company. And because that at the end of the day, it helps you as a client. Because I know that the client is getting the best treatment from a conversation or from getting better because of the heart of the individual.
Yeah. Aphelele Nyembezi on Twitter says that she just recently graduated as a physiotherapist from VIDS, and she's wondering what was your first move straight after graduating?
Well, obviously, when we all graduate, we have to work for the government for a year.
Yeah.
So we do our community service here, and I worked in Dundee in the Tel Midlands, and immediately after that, I wanted to do my master's. So I got a bursary to do my master's back at the University of the Western Cape. So I did that part time, and I had to find a job. I didn't get a job. I had a locum, one weekend a month at that time. So I was going there apprehensive, so because you need to work. And I got there, and my luck had it that someone was leaving that practice.
Yeah, okay.
And then it allowed me a bit more leeway
to step into that role.
I worked at the Milnerton Mediclinic, and then I worked there for a few years, and then went to start my own practice with a friend of mine. So with the practice,
I want to find the comparisons. What did you learn from the first practice that you started with your friend, and you were able to apply now, starting on your own? Because right now there are no other partners. It's solely yours. So what is it that you learned from your first attempt at having a practice? Yeah. What happened to that practice? Yeah. And what have you learned from that practice that you use now with this one?
Yeah, well, many lessons were learned in that first practice. Obviously getting things in order, like the law stuff, making sure that you have contracts in place, making sure that you have your business side in place in terms of accounting. You can't go into a practice not thinking that you can have contracts.
Yeah.
Basically, even if it's a friend or someone you don't know, you never know what will happen. So stuff like that had I instated. I didn't even think twice when I started this in terms of spending money with a lawyer. You get a lawyer, you do it properly. You get your business model. You get people to help you with your business model. You do it properly. So you start the ground running with a good foundation. That's probably what I learned the most from the first practice.
And what did happen to the first practice? Is it still running, or was it a case of you just moving to Joburg?
Yeah, I moved on to Johannesburg, and I left the practice behind, and it's part of it is still running at the moment. Yeah, but I'm not involved at all.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So tell me, what kind of a boss are you? Like if I apply and I get a job there, like what kind of a boss are you? Because I think it's very interesting because you're pretty young, right? And it's very inspiring to see a lot of young faces now leading the charge in terms of entrepreneurship. Because I think a lot of us kind of just fall into, let me just be an employee.
Yeah.
But it's very inspiring to see you as a young person, having your own practice and it doing pretty well, if you ask me. Yeah. So how are you as a boss? Is it weird for you? In fact, actually, let me rephrase the question, because you deal in sport. So, how are you as a coach?
I'm not. I'm a physio, so I'm not actually a coach.
No, but remember you said that like your team, you treat your team like your work is like a team. So
So basically, I try to inspire, and I try to get my hands dirty. I do a lot. I try to do as much as I can, because I feel that I can try and go out and meet people and explain the vision a bit better than a practitioner may, but I'm happy to go out and do it for the practitioner.
Yeah,
I feel that and I enjoy it actually, because I think I know each and every one pretty well in terms of what they do in their profession to almost promote them, basically. Although they don't need promotion, because I think they're pretty good in their own right.
Yeah. Well, you've mentioned the vision twice now, so I want to find out, what is the vision for the sports club?
Well, the big vision is obviously to bridge the gap between the elite and the amateur, and especially school kids, and create social responsibility, because I feel my knowledge is free. Someone doesn't have to pay for my knowledge to speak. So I want to go out, and I want to go out to schools with my colleagues if they're willing to come, but I'm happy to go there on my own, and to spread the word of long-term athletic development, meaning that in order to get kids fully developed before they come to my level, which is the elite level, they understand what it takes to be an elite athlete. So taking them through the stages from junior school to senior school, high school, and going out and educating educators as well as the coaches and the parents, more importantly, because you can't sit in front of a lecture room speaking to kids about injury prevention. They're going to look at you and think, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You have to educate the parent and the educator and the coaches to make them understand why a child has so-called growing pains. We call it growing pains. We have knee issues. It all happens throughout when we grow up.
Yeah.
And it's mainly due to growth spurts. And kids get sore. They get knee issues. They get heel issues. They break bones because of growth spurts. And those type of things which I want to try and bridge the gap. I want to give, or all of us want to give, all the practitioners want to share the knowledge and give their expertise, because to the amateur, which they currently do for the elite, the same type of treatment. So basically holistic care, meaning the client's number one. If I'm not proficient in a certain discipline, then I know that I'm not good enough, and I need to refer. Not good enough, but I mean... But
this isn't specifically... So if there's someone within the team who's actually better at doing this specific section, then
you refer to make sure that client gets the best possible treatment.
That elite treatment and service that you were speaking about earlier.
Because basically what happens at the elite level, someone gets injured, you get a diagnosis immediately. The coach knows how long the player is out for. The player knows how long he's out for. There's a plan put in place.
So this is whenever we hear that a certain player is going to be off for this much long because they've got this injury, that's usually given by the physiotherapist after having it examined, the player.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So planning and structure and treatment and all that stuff is what anyone should be experiencing. And I'm sure it does happen, but I mean, if there's an institution that's available to do it, because we 11 of us, and it's a multi, I'll call it an interdisciplinary team, not a multidisciplinary team. Interdisciplinary.
Okay, talk me through this.
Interdisciplinary is we work together. We work with the client, and
so
we understand. Yes, we discuss.
Yeah.
We discuss injuries and players. If we have an injury coming in, our sports physician, Dr. Pillay, who's also the team doctor for the Lions, and he's been with Wits for quite a while, the child may need an ultrasound. and he has an ultrasound in his room. You don't need to go to the radiologist, type of thing. So you can get a diagnosis there. He then comes into the gym where the physios and the biokinetists are, and then it's
the whole process.
The whole process begins
under this one roof.
Yeah, everything's there, and it's amazing to see some of the results we're getting in terms of injuries. So
all right. I'm in studio with Craig Govender. He, of course, is a physiotherapist, and he is the founder of the Wanderer Sports Medical Center. He's chatting to me about the art of physiotherapy and the practice of it, but also his passion and love for cricket and sports in general, and I guess youth empowerment is what I'm getting from the conversation as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them through via that WhatsApp line, +27 7925 4329, as well as on Twitter at TransAfrica872. It's 7 p.m. You're listening to TransAfrica Radio's Man Talk with myself, BAX. Now, I've got the next song I'm going to play. As of course it is your show.
This is mine.
Okay. At this point, it's your interview. We're going to play some Goldfish, and on the other side of this, I want you to give me a case study.
A case study.
Right, of a story, one particular story that jumps out of your memory. As soon as I said I want you to give me a case study, I want you to tell me that story that came out, and that's next right here on Man Talk. I'm sure you're one of those key people to go out clubbing with.
At university, probably, but not now.
Not even every now and again?
Not really.
Are you really?
Yeah, life's too busy.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it.
Sleep is important.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we want all of our doctors to say, to be honest. You don't want a doctor who's like, yeah, sure, let's go partying. It's a Saturday. Let's both go. All right. Okay, so cool. So wanted to chat about, what are some of the, most memorable or that come to mind right now kind of cases that you worked on. So let's paint the scenery. You and I were both physiotherapists, I wish. And, we're having, just a quick drink. It's a Saturday. We're playing either black coffee or Goldfish in the background, and we're having a conversation about, physiotherapy. What's the story that you that would come to mind about your career to this point?
Sure. It'll probably be the start of... I matriculated in 99 and I wanted to do physio in Durban. Obviously, my entire family was there, but I didn't get in, so I did a year of sports science at University of Durban, Westville. And in that year, I applied for physiotherapy at University of the Western Cape. And I got a letter in that year of acceptance. And I was actually with my brother at the time, and he was in school, and we were playing pool. And I just stopped everything and I started jumping. So take me back to the moment when you see that the letter is here and you see it has that UWC stamp on it. Obviously, you get...
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm not accepted.
Well, who's in the room? Just your brother?
Yeah, my brother and I.
Did you ask him to open it? Was it like, okay, no, you open it? Okay, no,
I just went for it because I needed to know. I needed to know something. And I only applied there actually, no other university.
Really?
Yeah. Purely because one of my best school friends were there.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I went down and I was sitting in front of my dad, and we all sit at the dinner table at home in Durban. And my dad sits opposite me generally, and he was there. He just come from work at 6.
This is the same day you found out that
And then I went to him and I said, I've just been accepted. Now, to be honest, my mom did everything for me at the time. And
did you just have are you advised in an Indian family?
Yeah. And
okay,
we were
come on, we're cool like that. Yeah, so yes, your mom.
I sat there and I said, this is what I always wanted to do. And they knew I always wanted to be a physio.
Yeah.
And I got accepted. And I've never stayed away from my family for a long time. Since that day, I've been away from home for 17 years.
You never came back.
I went back, but I mean, they allowed me to follow my dream.
Okay.
They've given me everything to be sitting here with you. I mean,
I can completely relate. Yes.
So that's one of my big ambitions in life, to just make sure that
they're taken care of.
They're taken care of, and they know that I'm trying to keep living up to their goals and their morals and stuff.
You said that they both knew, or your family knew, that physiotherapy was something that you were interested in, and
Yeah,
sport
yeah.
was something that you loved.
Yeah.
Were they also supportive as well, completely, both mom and dad, and
Yeah,
I guess
totally.
family?
Totally. I mean,
So the
There was-
issue would have been the fact that you have to move.
sorry.
So the issue would have been the fact that you have to leave,
It was
not
probably
just home, but the city. And
it was probably my anxiety of leaving, because how am I going to survive? I can't cook. Mom did everything.
Did you? Sorry,
Yeah.
just so that I know as well for my life
Yeah.
and my purposes.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn how to cook?
Yes, I'm good now.
Okay, so there's hope.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
hope.
yeah.
To my
All-
people listening
Yeah.
who are in my life right now, who know that I absolutely cannot cook,
Yeah.
if Craig can do it, so can I.
Yeah, and that's probably what's defined me now, being away from home and hustling.
Basically.
You gotta do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You miles away from home.
Yeah. No one to
No
call
one to
and
call.
just yeah. It's like
You got-
I'm hungry. Can I come to your house and just crash and I'll just have supper?
Yeah, you gotta do it, and that's probably my drive. That's what probably my wife often tells me. Yes, you just go ahead and just do things. You go head on, and that's probably how I live life, because I had to.
Yes.
And that's what, and probably moving away from home actually helps individuals, because you probably grow much quicker as a person. You try to get to understand yourself a bit more, because who else is there? I mean, I only had my friend, and I had to learn about new people, and that's my whole thing about the center as well. It's getting people together from different races, different cultures. I mean, I purposely got people from every religion in there. It's purely to show that people from all different spectrums of life can work together for one defined goal, and that's what's my philosophy. I mean, I need to know about you better. I'm not going to sit across the table. I'm going to try and get around and sit next to you to know what music you like, that type of stuff, because that's how you build team spirit, in my mind. You can't expect the team to develop and grow if you don't know what he or she likes.
Yeah.
And why he may be in a bad mood today, because there could be other lingering issues, type of thing. So that's why I had to make friends. I've got long-lasting friendships. I'm not scared to learn about other cultures. I love learning about other cultures. I mean, we got Jewish guys in our team, and it's so awesome that on a Saturday, it's Sabbath, and no one can touch the phone and watch TV. It's amazing. I mean, imagine if all of us could have that.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be Instagramming or all
Just
that type
busy
of
with,
busy with you. You're just having conversations with your loved ones. So that's what I want to create.
So you've experienced life in Durban, you've experienced life in Cape Town, experienced life in Joburg.
Yeah.
Any other cities in this specific country in South Africa that you've experienced?
Obviously, with the cricket, I've been to every city in South Africa because we play there.
And stayed with which other cities have you stayed for, like a significant year, 2 years?
No,
three?
not
only those three.
Only those three. Yeah.
Favorite?
Cape Town.
Why?
People, outdoor life. Well, urban obviously is home. Durban is home, but Cape Town's pretty cool. I mean, I love the outdoor life. Just get on a mountain bike and get up to the top of.
Ever climbed Table Mountain?
Yes.
How many times?
Yes, a few times. Lion's Head. Many times.
Countless times.
Yeah.
So, since Cape Town is obviously a place that you enjoy being, especially for leisure, I gather, as well as Durban being home, are there plans to move the sports center to or start up different branches in those cities, as well as possibly other cities as well?
They basically have their own practice within the center. So I do not employ them. They basically run their own practices. I have employees for the center, which is your administrators. But we do chat. We have regular conversations with the practitioners. Obviously, I want to know that they're feeling that everything's going well, and we have heart-to-heart conversations. And it's important because communication is the most important thing.
Yes.
In any forum, in a relationship with your husband and wife, in team, and like I'm saying, I see that as my team. So I've had regular meetings with each and everyone just to touch base, just to see that we are doing the right things from a center's point of view. Are we doing enough marketing? Are we getting enough people in? Obviously, with a year and a half in, we don't have thousands of people flowing through the door, and obviously that's the goal. I mean, we want feet through the door, and that's every day. That's a challenge. What do we have to do better to get more people through the door? How do we get the brand out more? That type of thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going to take one last break, and then we're going to come back and wrap up our interview with Craig Govender, the founder of the Wanderer Sports Medical Center. He's in studio with me right here on Man Talk. It's exactly 7:18 Central African Time, and my name is BAX, with you between now and 8 p.m. Central African Time. And you can continue to send through your questions via Twitter at TransAfrica872, as well as WhatsApp +27 7925 44329. Right now, Craig, I'm going to take you home. I'm going to take you back to the beach with some Carl Deutsch and Shekinah. It's exactly 7:18 Central African Time.
Well, my personal and my drive is since grade 10 was to be an international cricket physio. So obviously I've had a taste of the A's, and I've done 3 ODIs with the Proteas. So I would love at some stage in my career to reach my ultimate goal of being the Protea physio. But
what's that going to take? What do you need to do?
That's going to take a lot more hard work.
But in terms of what, like specific? So, for example, if I didn't know that I could become a physiotherapist, and I'm hearing you speak, I'm like, oh, I want to. And then you say international, I'm like, I want that too. What is it what are the steps that you're going to need to take to become an international physiotherapist?
Obviously, experience is what really counts.
Because you also mentioned pursuing a PhD.
Yes, I actually started that before I got the Lions job, and I had to stop because it became too much. And again, 2 of my lecturers recently asked me to now try and reapply and start that. But my allegiance, I'm true to my alumni, so so I can't go to any other university
other than the UWC. So, well, UWC tuning in right now to see this video and this interview. Listen back to this interview. You got him. Okay, he's whipped. He loves you guys. He loves
the
home.
Best university in South Africa.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
I beg to differ. Mine one was the best. I'm just saying. No, I didn't go to university. I went to a college. It was Boston Media House. But I'm just saying, no more promo. Sorry. But yeah, so you're going to go back. You're going to go finish your PhD.
Well, if that happens, that will be part-time. So, and it'll be a dissertation. It wouldn't be classwork.
Okay, you said dissertation. I'm going to need you to break that down. What is that?
It's basically a thesis. So my master's was a thesis. I've written a thesis on my master's. So
what did you focus on?
Cricket injury prevention in fast bowlers. So very specific.
In fast bowlers.
Yeah, fast bowlers. So it'll be again cricket related. Although I have a few more ideas because of business now. I think I'm not going to give too much away, but I want to try and look at more statistics related to injury and how we can improve that sense.
So you have in terms of the center itself, cricketexcellence.blogspot.com. Is that specifically for the center?
No, that's my personal.
That's your personal one,
blog, which I started a while ago. Yeah.
All right, awesome stuff. Which is also at Craig _Gov is also your personal Twitter account, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of if people want to get a hold of, I mean, it's the weekend. People have just come from matches now, and they're gonna come with injuries and stuff. So how do they get a hold of the center?
Well, we've got a website. It's quite a cool website. It's www.wsmcbullring, all one word, .com. And we pretty loud, I think, on Instagram. So it's at WSMC_bullring, which is BULLRING.
Excuse my ignorance, but I have to ask, where does the bull ring come from?
So that's the Wanderers. So the Wanderers Cricket Stadium,
Got it.
his nickname is called the Bull Ring because of its atmosphere.
I knew that. I was just, just trying to make sure that you also knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But otherwise, now we both know, and everyone else also knows.
Okay, cool.
So Instagram is obviously where you said you guys are, making the most noise and constantly updating.
And most social media. So we've got a Facebook page as well, Wonder Sports Medical Center, and we've got a YouTube page, the Wonder Sports Medical Center as well. And yeah, you can contact me via email. Craig G at wsmcbullring.com.
All right, so that's a WSMC, which of course stands for Wanderers Sports Medical Center. Google it if you don't catch any of those contact details. I'm sure you'll get all of that information. But before I let you go, we've been talking about the medical center, but let's talk about Trans Africa Radio for a second. Now, we at Trans Africa Radio are committed to playlisting 100% African music. That's all we play. In fact, since you walked into studio, that's all we've been playing. But we always ask our guests what their thoughts on the fact that we only playlist 100% African music, as opposed to, dabbling in this, that, and the other, including other genres. Sorry, not other genres, other music from other international countries. What are your thoughts on the fact that Trans Africa Radio playlists 100% African music?
I think it's unbelievable. I mean, look, all the music we played, I bet you everyone listens to, but they don't actually know it's African, and it's amazing. I mean, I've told you before that I've listened to quite a bit of South African music.
Yes.
I mean, I spoke to you about Monarch, and you didn't even know they're South African.
Yes.
They're from Potchefstroom, so they've got a lovely voice, a good group. We often go to watch all the South African artists at the big shows here with.
Which one? The South African Music Awards, the Durban July.
Which is the one, the 94.7 one.
Oh, yeah, Joburg Day.
Joburg Day, yes, sorry. So they have all the South African art, and most of them are South African artists, and I love it. It's cool, and I really enjoyed Goldfish and Black Coffee, so it's amazing. And
well, we enjoyed having you in studio, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
We're going to leave you. I'm sure your wife is already ready for you to meet up with her again. But tell her we had an absolutely amazing time with you. Found the interview very insightful.
Oh, thank you.
And I think definitely the vision that you have, not just for your own life, but for the center as well, is something that's needed in terms of the growth that we're trying to get South Africa to, and the direction that we're trying to move as a country. And Trans Africa Radio is always here to support you, so
thanks, man.
You know what the funniest thing would be? As if you're playing a cricket match and then you get an injury and then one of the doctors needs to help you, and like, no, I'll just help myself, because obviously you know how to do this as well, but hopefully none of that
I'm probably the worst at that, says
right?
my wife,
because you know what they say, that doctors are the worst to treat. So, but anyway, that'll touch wood. That is not going to be happening. But what will be happening, hopefully, is having you again back in studio when you open up that office in Cape Town, when you get that PhD. All of these different things that we're going to be celebrating in the future. We wish you the best. Thank you so much for joining us on Man Talk.
Thanks.
Craig Govender, the founder of the Wanderers Sports Medical Center, also the BizHub Highveld Lions physiotherapist, and a member of the South Africa A team for the past 6 years. Congratulations on all of your achievements, and here's to the rest of what's coming your way.
Thank you so much.
Man Talk right here on Trans Africa Radio with myself, BAX, standing in for Leroy Mark. Right now it's exactly 7:30 Central African time, and more great tunes to come your way on the other side of this.
Man Talk on Trans Africa. This is Trans Africa Radio.